So Marvel has a problem. The most expensive movie they have ever made, the biggest cast ever put on one screen, and the entire thing rests on one insane gamble. Taking the actor who built this whole universe, the man we cheered for 15 years, and turning him into the villain we're supposed to fear. Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom. And folks, the deeper you dig into Avengers Doomsday, the crazier this gets. Because there's a theory spreading online right now that Doom might not just look like Tony Stark. He might basically be Tony Stark, born in a universe that was never meant to exist. And the wildest part? The clues for that theory might trace all the way back to the final minutes of Endgame. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see this movie very differently. But before any of that, let me hit you with the line that's been keeping fans up at night. Joe Russo, the director, said it himself. Everyone is expendable. Not some characters. Everyone. So whatever happens in December, don't expect all your favorites to make it out. Now let's talk about the moment everyone is desperate to see. Back in April, Marvel screened a full trailer behind closed doors at CinemaCon. They still haven't released it to the public, which honestly is a whole drama on its own. But the people who were in that room came out talking. And according to those reports, the trailer ends on something massive. Thor, reportedly carrying both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, says they're going to need a miracle. And then, reportedly, a familiar voice answers. Steve Rogers. Yeah, Chris Evans, back as Captain America, older, bearded, and according to those same accounts, Mjolnir flies straight into his hand. Now I want to be straight with you, none of us have seen this footage, so treat the details as reported, not gospel. But if even half of it is accurate, Marvel is sitting on the biggest trailer drop in years and just refusing to press the button. And that brings us to the question that breaks everything open. How is Steve Rogers even here? Because the last time we saw him, he'd gone back in time to live out his life with Peggy. And this is where that theory I mentioned comes roaring in. See, a huge section of the fandom now believes that when Steve stayed in the past, he didn't quietly slot into our history. He split it. He created an entirely new universe. And not just any universe, the Fantastic Four's universe. Think it through. A super soldier who already knows the future starts changing things in 1949. The dominoes fall differently. Decades later, that world produces 4 astronauts who come home as the Fantastic Four. And here's the kicker. That same world produces a genius named Victor Von Doom. The theory goes that in every other reality, that brilliant, arrogant, world-saving mind becomes Tony Stark. But in this one accidental universe, it became Doom. Same soul, same face, completely different destiny. Now again, that's fan speculation. Marvel has confirmed none of it. But you have to admit, it would be the most poetic setup in the history of this franchise. The good captain's happy ending accidentally creating the villain that ends the multiverse. Chills. Okay, now the roster, because this thing is genuinely absurd. This is officially the largest cast Marvel has ever assembled. The full Fantastic Four are in. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny, Eben Moss-Backrack as The Thing, Chris Hemsworth returns as Thor, Anthony Mackie carries the shield as Captain America. You've got Sebastian Stan, Letitia Wright, Paul Rudd, Tom Hiddleston, Simu Liu, Florence Pugh, Tenoch Huerta's Namor, David Harbour, Winston Duke, Louis Pullman as Sentry, and the list literally keeps going. But the announcement that genuinely shook the internet was the X-Men. Not new versions, the originals. The legacy cast from the films we grew up on, with names like Professor X and Magneto, stepping into the MCU for the first time ever. 2 decades of Marvel history colliding in a single movie. People have dreamed about this since before the MCU even existed, and now it's actually happening. And underneath all the spectacle, the tone of this thing sounds heavy. From everything Marvel has teased so far, the multiverse itself is coming apart. Fans poring over the early teasers keep landing on the same dark reading, that these heroes aren't gearing up for a victory lap, they're staring down an ending. Thor with a daughter to come home to. The X-Men facing the death of their entire world. Some fans even theorize Doom seizes control of the TVA, the Time Authority from Loki, and spends the movie watching our heroes like pieces on a board. Speculation, sure, but it tells you the energy around this film. Nobody's expecting a safe movie. And remember, this is only part 1. Doomsday flows directly into Avengers, Secret Wars, in December 2027, a film Kevin Feige has described as among the most ambitious projects the studio has ever attempted. The way I read it, Doomsday is the breaking of the multiverse. Secret Wars is whatever gets built from the wreckage. We are watching the end of an entire era of Marvel storytelling, and the start of whatever comes next. Behind the camera, it's the Russo Brothers, the same two directors who delivered Infinity War and Endgame, the two biggest swings this studio ever took. They've locked this production down hard, shooting on closed sound stages, choosing locations specifically to kill leaks. Joe Russo has called Doom one of the most complex characters in comic book history. These guys know exactly what they're holding. So when do we actually get to see something? The Smart Money says San Diego Comic-Con this July. Marvel has a panel confirmed, the hype is at boiling point, and after the strong reactions out of CinemaCon, Comic-Con is the perfect stage to finally drop that trailer on the world. And given how much the Russos have been teasing lately, I'd say it's coming sooner rather than later. The date that matters is December 18th, 2026. That's when Avengers Doomsday hits theaters worldwide, with a few international markets getting it a couple days early. It was originally a May release before Marvel pushed it back, and for a movie carrying this much weight, I'd rather they take the time and get it right. So here's where I land. Iron Man returning as the villain. Captain America reportedly worthy again. The original X-Men crossing over at last. A multiverse on the edge of collapse, and a director telling us to our faces that no one is safe. If Marvel sticks this landing, December changes everything. And honestly, I think they know it. And that's that for today's video, folks. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.